Weaves are for women who are bald-headed and can't grow hair. Well, what if I told you that that wasn't true? What if I told you that the majority of my clients that get hair extensions, or that got hair extensions when I was standing behind the chair, they were women with really long, really thick, and really healthy hair? So to talk more about it and to talk more about how they used hair extensions to make sure their hair stayed long, thick, and healthy, then keep watching. But first, subscribe here to my channel and make sure that that bell notification is clicked so that you're notified every single time I post another video. Now, I'm braiding her hair down and I'm not adding any additional oils and butters, which is what we're going to be talking about today, to the scalp. I'm not adding any, and this is why. This is a picture of folliculitis. If you want to learn more about folliculitis, make sure you check the links in the description box below so you can check out my playlist on hair shaft disorders. But it is upon putting braids and extensions in wrong that you end up with things like this. So we're going to get to the bottom of everything, right? At this point, her hair has been shampooed and conditioned. I don't know why it was still looking curly in the back. This video is at least 7-8 years old. Yeah, like 7 years old. So I don't remember. But one thing that I really do recommend before you do any type of protective style, and this to me is a protective style, use something like Olaplex. I'm gonna have a really controversial conversation with you guys, because most people think that protective styles are like your crochet braids and things of that nature. But what if I told you those were not protective styles? And I'm gonna break it down to you, and you may not agree, and that's okay. I've been doing this for well over a decade, and I'm going to show you a couple of receipts from a couple of different hair shaft disorders that I've healed in less than 2 months, right? So let's go ahead, because some of them it's in less than a month, just in a couple of weeks. But anywho, first things first, I am braiding her hair down. Yes, this beauty here was a regular client of mine, but come summertime in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's over 100 degrees, like 100 plus on a regular basis. Like, as I'm making this video right now, it's on its way there to that temperature, right? It's hot right now. But we would always do hair extensions, sew in, or like different weaving techniques for her to have her hair up. And when I say different weaving techniques, I'm talking about the ones that I offered. And the only weaving techniques that I would offer would be a sew in with a lace closure, or a full sew in with a natural part. Now, I'm always going to be dropping these in the videos because I need everybody to understand that your leave-in conditioner is also a heat protectant. But let's talk about her hair shaft and the cuticle, because that is what we're protecting. Weaves do not grow your hair, but weaves help you to retain length, right? And if you are having proper practices, you can do that. So right now, as I'm braiding her hair down, I'm not putting anything on her scalp, but I have a little bit of the hydration batter that I used to sell on my fingertips, and this is just going to make sure that her hair stays strong and able to receive and be strong enough and still protected as it pertains to the little bit of tension that she will have from her hair extensions. But because of the way that I'm prepping her hair, and because of the way that I'm preparing her hair, she's not going to have any breakage or anything. So anytime you see these pop up on the screen, just read them for yourself. All right, just read them for yourself. Today is May 31st, and this is a message that she wrote on May 30th. So these are pretty current, right? But anywho, as I am braiding her hair down, again, when you're doing a protective style, the key in protecting your hair and scalp is for it to be not really exposed to the elements, right? So the scalp and the hair shaft are not exposed to the elements at all. They're protected. That is what a protective style is. So a lot of people are not going to agree with me, but something like 2-strand twists are not a protective style. It's not protect. Your hair hair isn't protected. Your scalp is exposed. There are a bunch of partings. The scalp is exposed. The hair, it's not a protective style. I'm not saying do what you want to do. I don't care. I'm just saying that's not a protective style. I just want you guys to understand what warrants as a protective style. And most people also think that crochet braids and things of that nature are protective styles, and in my professional opinion, they are not. Your hair actually needs protection from the crochet braids. Your scalp actually needs protection from the crochets, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Anywho, so now as we are braiding her hair down, I'm making sure that I'm following the natural curvature of her head, because in this case she was getting bangs. Because she was getting bangs, the braid pattern that I was doing is in a circular pattern so that I am able to mimic the shape of her head, because that is what the weaving process is about. It's about creating an illusion based on the curvature of your client's hair. So the braid pattern I give is dependent on that. But let's hear a word from our sponsors, Cynple, Apothecary, and our new organic witch hazel. All right, I love this because this is something that I would use on my clients to cleanse their scalp one final time before I put hair extensions in. I know a lot of people see on YouTube, before people put braids in, they drench the scalp in a whole bunch of oils and butters, but I don't do that. I make sure I give the scalp one final cleansing before we're done, right? The product that I'm using now, I did not have back then. It was my hair growth product, but the hair growth product was working because it was cleaning up the environment of the scalp. But again, I'm not in the hair growth or the hair product genre or anything like that. I'm a herbalist now, so I'm more so like in the herbal basis. So any way that I can bring herbs to help in hair care, I will, and witch hazel is one that can, right? So in this case, I am using some thread that is nylon. Either nylon or polyester thread is the type of thread that you want to use, and we're going to talk about the thread in a minute, right? But again, I really want you guys to understand, like, I'm not here to debate with nobody about what's better, using oil on the scalp after braids. Do what you want to do. I don't care. Do you think this? But for me, because my client's hair is going to be in this weave for a max of 3 months, even though she didn't go past like a month and some change, then it's really imperative that she has the least amount of colonizing bacteria on her scalp as possible. So that is why after I get done braiding her hair, I make sure I go back over the scalp with rose water to cleanse the scalp. This is the sebaceous gland that produces sebum. Sebum is the natural oil that your body produces to moisturize your hair. And as my client's hair is in extensions, their scalp is producing this sebum every single day. So my clients also understood that they needed to either take my product home with them, or they needed to go buy either rose water or witch hazel, and once a week they would take a cotton ball and cleanse this bacteria. This is the colonizing bacteria that lives on your scalp. And just because you have a protective style in your hair, girl, does not mean that colonizing bacteria is not gonna grow. And the more it grows and the more you let it overgrow, the more you become at risk for getting different scalp infections like folliculitis. This is what folliculitis looks like on the scalp. The white pimples that you get on your face is just that version of folliculitis, but on the face. And again, you are still having that skin cell turnover cycle every 28 days. Just because your hair is in extensions doesn't mean that it stops. So this is why, but when I put extensions in my client's hair, I wasn't putting oil on there, because it just made it even more difficult, because they're still having a regimen where they're shampooing their hair in a weave every 2 weeks to remove the extra gook and bacteria off of their scalp, so that way their natural hair growth cycle is never thrown off just because they have extensions, right? Their skin cell turnover cycle isn't thrown off just because they have extensions. They're not getting folliculitis and hair follicle disorders just because they have extensions. And that is when the hair follicle follicle dies. What you just saw, that yellow picture, that was an illustration of a hollow dead hair follicle. And that's what ends up happening when you're always adding and loading products onto the scalp. Now, I know a lot of people talk a lot of noise. I know a lot of people talk a whole lot on YouTube, but the thing is, I always put my money where my mouth is. I have so many reviews and testimonials that tell you all about it, so I'm not making it up. I'm not paying anybody to say anything. When you stop all of the extra practices that you think mentally that you insist on using, or that your body just can't function without, if you stop those things, I promise you, your hair grows back with little effort. Everybody that you're seeing that's popping up on the screen that is like, oh my god, my bald spots are showing back up or filling in, these are all women from the 7-day challenge, and not one of them bought a hair growth product to make their hair grow back. They did the opposite. They stopped using most of their hair growth products, and then they followed the same exact pattern. All of these women followed the same exact pattern. You know how on social media people like to say, well, everybody's different. Not really, because everybody that you're going to see has different levels of porosity. But one thing that is constant, right, is if you constantly fill the scalp with oils and butters and things of that nature, or even some people that get box braids and the braiders that fill the follicle up with petroleum or with edge control, like, well, edge control is petroleum, just a different form. Those are the people who are getting like white pussy filled bumps. Baby, that's folliculitis, because you have too many different forms of products within the follicle blocking the follicle, right? So these are things that I really want you to pay attention to, because yes, like pictures like this, when you get into women that get individuals that get bald spots, yes, part of the reason is because the braids are too tight. The other part of the reason is because you put them in ponytails and you put a tight scarf on when you have box braids. But the really, really big portion of it that nobody wants to listen to, that everybody wants to argue me down on, is when you get box braids, you think that you have to completely drench your scalp in oil before and after you get it. When your scalp is oily, when your scalp hurts, you put oil on your scalp to alleviate the pain, as if oil has any properties that alleviate pain. Like, since when does almond oil have any properties that numb you? Since when does oil have numbing properties? No, what's happening is the follicle is being distracted, is being fed by oil. So there's so many different things going on. It's almost like the placebo effect, where you believe that it's working just because it's something that's always been in your head. It's all I got to do is put some oil on it. Oh, it feels so much better, because it's a cooling system. It's a cooling sensation, so it kind of gives you like the placebo effect, like I said, to make you believe, oh my god, this is so much better, all because you put oil on it. But in reality, all you really did was feed the bacteria. That's why even though you'll have cooling sensations, you'll also have little white bumps. Why are those little white bumps popping up? The little white bumps are popping up because you have colonizing forms of yeast and bacteria on the scalp, and their favorite foods are the lipids that live in those oils. So the same great properties that you guys are reading about, all those vitamins and minerals, well, the living organisms that are on your scalp, baby, they like vitamins and minerals too, and they're colonizing. So when you give a colonizer food, the more they get, the more they can colonize. So that's what ends up happening. And at first it looks like your hair is doing so good. At first it looks like your scalp is doing good, and then years down the line your hair is just falling out and breaking off, and you just don't know why. You can't figure it out. But then you stop little minute practices and all of your hair grows back, and you just can't even believe it. And all you did was stop following different YouTube hacks. That's all you did. So the thing is, I'm never, regardless of how many people make videos, regardless of how many blog posts that there are about me, I searched my name the other day and y'all be hangry and angry, right? Like, I'm not gonna stop making these videos. It'd be different if I was just making the videos just to make them and nobody was getting results. But if I'm lying, I'm flying. And so are all of the other women that are here on my channel and in the 7-day challenge and here on the screen. I'm sorry, but the pictures don't lie. All right. So at this point, we are styling her hair, right? You've already seen me cut the bangs. I think, did I cut the bangs yet? I don't know. We about to see. I think I did. I don't know, because I wasn't watching it. I was just talking, girl. But at this point, I'm making sure that everything is smooth the way that she likes it. The hair that she used, I think, was from Maven. But remember, y'all, this video is like over 7 years old. So I think this was, this is the shop that I moved to right after my dad died. So it could be older than 7 years. It could be like 8 years ago. This video could be like 8 years old. I'll put it in the description box whenever it's over. But this, like I said, been dealing with Team Natural stuff for a really long time. But this was one of my clients that was like, girl, don't nobody care nothing about that. Like, she wasn't washing and going nothing. Okay? Like, she wore her hair straight all the time, and if it wasn't straight, she wore it like, she would wear it like blown out in like 2 French braids, or sometimes she would put it in a ponytail, but it wasn't in a ponytail for a week. Maybe you know why people wear ponytails. Okay, so again, now I am cutting her bangs. I learned how to cut bangs like this when I was in cosmetology school. We twist them, and then when you twist them, it ends up creating this like this curtain effect where it's like shorter in the middle and then fans out on the side, and then I'm framing her face. That's what she wanted. And so this was the look that she was going for. She was really cute, all dark and sultry, you know what I mean, right? So again, just putting some face framing layers in, like, because sometimes she did curl it and just giving the bangs like a little bit of point cutting. But as you can see, I'm recording this on my phone, and you can see my phone and my ring light through the mirror. You sure can. And right across the hall, that was one of my oh no, I thought not right across the hall. It was this older white guy that used to come by all the time and was like, girl, you are getting the work done, honey. Yes. But anywho, let me know in the comments what you think about her hair. She used to wear weaves and extensions all the time. We would switch up between weaves and extensions. Sometimes she would just get a couple of tracks in, or even micro links or whatever, right? But she was not always in her hair. She was not always playing in her hair. She didn't have a whole bunch of different products. All she used to have was a conditioner, a shampoo, leave-in conditioner, foam, and serum at home, and heat protectant. That's all any of my clients had at home, all of them, unless they didn't listen. The ones that listened, those are the only products that they had at home. And when they got tired of their hair, instead of them playing in it, it's like, hey, come put it up. And that's what it is. So again, I need y'all to understand that women who wear weaves are not women who are bald. Women who wear weaves are not women who are ashamed of their hair. It's a series that is close to home for me because I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and me and my family are about to move, but we're moving to Arizona, which is even hotter than Vegas, right? So I'm not wearing my hair out. I just don't do that. I don't really know too many women that live in the desert that don't have weaves or braids in the summertime. And that's just that on that, right? You don't have to agree, it's fine, but everybody's experience, I guess, is gonna be different. Obviously, if you live in Antarctica, maybe you don't have this problem. So I know somebody's going to be watching this. Weaves are damaging. No, they're not. This nylon or polyester or silk thread that is wrapped around my client's hair is so thin. It's so thin, right? And it's not pulling and tugging. The thread is exactly where I put it the next time my client comes in for her appointment. So it's not shifting and moving. But look at the diameter difference, the difference in diameter from your crochet braid and my needle that's wrapped around my client's hair. It's very different. This is why women who wear crochet braids for years and years and years will start to notice after a while their hair will begin to thin out. Now, this was her very first time sitting in my chair, right? But this is a woman who only wears weaves. Only wears weaves. Only wears weaves. Okay. I was in Vegas, and all I'm gonna say is what she did for a living, she needed to be va-va-vooming. Okay, her hair needed to be slanging and banging. That's all I'm gonna say. You can figure it out on your own, right? And in the past, a hairstylist that she had ended up like braiding all of her edges up. Like, she always would get leave out, but this hairstylist in particular ended up braiding all of her hair up, and that's something I never do. I didn't mean to put that in there, but it's in there, and I really don't feel like editing it again, so you just saw it pop up anyway. So I went ahead and put that out of the way, because when your hair is already broke off, I'm not braiding that up. And because she is a person that may leave her weave in possibly a little bit longer, I don't know, because it was my first time doing her hair, I made sure that I went ahead and braided with my hydration batter. Now, when we're talking about hydration, make sure you check the link in the description box below so you can understand the difference between hydration and moisture. When something says hydration batter, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's giving hydration. It's just preventing you from losing the hydration that you've already put into your hair. Again, watch the video linked in the description box below. It's not a product that I offer anymore. I do sell an ebook teaching you how to make it yourself, or I'll leave some product recommendations in the description box. But again, this is not a product that I'm using for my client's hair. Blue Magic is a product that my mom also used to use, but even my mom, let me know in the comments if you would want to hear my mom talk about it on my channel, because I'll bring my mom on the channel and she could tell y'all. But even my mom was like, when she used Blue Magic on my hair, and when my grandma used Blue Magic on their hair, she wasn't greasing their scalp with it. She would do their hair and put it on their hair. That was for retention, right? But as time has moved on, right, we have evolved, things change. But for whatever reason, this newer generation, I can't believe I'm saying that, like, I'm a millennial, so I'm talking about y'all after us, or just even some of y'all millennials too, all y'all. It's almost like there's no respect for the craft that came before you. For example, Madam CJ Walker did not create the pressing comb. Annie Turnbow did, but Madam CJ Walker was a student of Annie Turnbow's, and as a student of Annie Turnbow's, Annie Turnbow taught her how to produce things herself, how to take something great and elevate it. So that is what Madam CJ Walker did. Madam CJ Walker, she just got a different patent. She did use the same pressing comb that Annie Turnbow made, but she made the teeth small, closer together, and that is the pressing comb that we now have today. But Madam CJ Walker still respected the person who laid the foundation before her. But now today, y'all have zero respect for the people that came before y'all. Y'all don't have no respect for Madam CJ Walker or Annie Turnbow, because neither one of them were walking around with wet hair. Neither one of them was saying wash and goes. Neither one of them were greasing the scalp. The pressing cream that they had and the oils and butters and stuff that they had were for the hair, and the products that they had for the scalp were treatment based. If you look at the ingredients, they were treatment based, and they were non-comedogenic, that didn't block the follicles. But we don't pay attention to any of that. I really need y'all to really think about it. All right. Annie Turnbull, Annie Malone had a huge university. And if y'all think that this woman was teaching people how to put 3 or 4 different products in hair and that was hairstyling, is crazy. Like, the women in Annie Turnbull school, they learned chemistry, science, they learned everything. She had a whole like garden on the top of the roof, right? And on the top of the roof they grew herbs. So all of the women that went to her school were also herbalists. They were scientists, they were seamstress. Check the link in the description box below, because I tell you guys all about Annie Turnbull and what she did. But it's like, y'all don't know nothing about it, because all y'all want to talk about is like, oh, our ancestors didn't have blow dryers. Okay, what about your ancestor that invented the pressing comb? What about the ancestor that invented the blow dryer? What about the ancestor that made the products like leave-in conditioners that are polymer based, that slow down the evaporation process, which prevents you from getting heat damage in the first place? You don't have to go, I'm sorry, I'm not making it a race thing, but the person who made the ReVair blow dryer is not a black person, and they were not thinking about black people in any way, shape, or form when they made it. They were not. It is, and it's not about race. I think it's really dope that their idea created something like that, but they were not thinking about black women. They were not. She used the woman, his wife, used to use a vacuum cleaner hose to dry her hair and her kids' hair. She used the vacuum cleaner to do her children's hair. Her husband saw her using the vacuum cleaner to do her children's hair and was like, that's a cool idea, we should make a product. And then they made it, slapped a $500 price on it, and now black women are running to it and buying it and telling the world that they made the product thinking of them. They were not thinking about a black woman when they made a ReVair blow dryer. The woman, again, was drying and styling her children's hair with the hose. Y'all know the hose of the the vacuum cleaner, not the when you push it around, but the hose on the vacuum cleaner that you use to suck things out of the couch. She used to use that to put her daughter's hair in ponytails and to dry it. She styled her kids' hair with the vacuum cleaner hose. They made a product to mimic it and put a $500 label on it, and now y'all are buying it. And they care about black hair. Y'all, no. The people who really care about black hair are the ones who are in the hair salon, who have been doing it for decades, for centuries, who have not only taught y'all how to use blow dryers, but giving you so many leave-in conditioners that prevents you from getting heat damage from the blow dryer. So it makes no sense. You buy a $400 or $500 blow dryer attachment thing that is mimicking a vacuum cleaner. You buy the vacuum cleaner blow dryer for $500, or you buy a $20 blow dryer and or $80 blow dryer, whatever your budget is, and a leave-in conditioner. Make it make sense. And I know that I'm gonna get pushback from this. I know there are gonna be people who don't agree. I know there's gonna be people that's like, oh, it made my life so much easier, it was so much faster. Like, why is it that all somebody got to do is say, you'll have less accountability, you'll have to spend less time caring for yourself? All they got to do is put that label on it. And why is this one on the screen so much? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Anyway, maybe the Lord wants y'all to see it 50 million times, but y'all, like, why is it so easy? All they gotta do is tell you that it'll only take you a little bit of time and then you'll be good. Y'all, within the 7-day challenge, they're starting off with it taking them like 2 hours to blow dry their hair. Women who've been in my challenge for over a year, they're blow drying their hair in 30 minutes. So if you do repetition and practice, you'll get it down. You don't have to go spend $400 on a blow dryer. It is insane. I've been doing hair for 15 years. Longer than that, I've literally never done anything else. I'm about to be 34 years old, and my entire adult life, I have never made money in any other way other than the hair industry, be doing hair. And I don't care. This is the thing. You think they haven't reached out to me and offered me a brand deal to promote that blow dryer? Do y'all have any idea how much money I would make in commissions off of y'all buying that blow dryer off of my channel? Do you understand that? I'm not hating on anybody. If you spend $400, some of them are, even if you get it on sale, let's say you get it on sale for $300, okay, I'm gonna get about 35% of that. Yeah, that's what they offered me. What? And then an unlimited amount of y'all buy it. As many people are buying it. Make it make sense. What motive do I have? What do I gain from telling y'all this? What do I gain from it? It is literally insanity to me. Even if I'm no longer standing behind a chair, even seeing cosmetologists, I know why cosmetologists are doing it. Anybody that's on YouTube, that has a YouTube channel, anybody who stands behind a chair and does it, I know exactly why they're doing it. And I just told you why. They get commission when you buy one. When they clients, you think they not getting money when they clients taking one home? You think they not getting no money? You crazy if you think they ain't getting no money. So these are the things that I really, really want y'all to think about. Like, it's really not as complicated as everybody tries to make it. That's what happened when I added the music. I kept copying it, so it kept adding this review every time I added the song. That's what happened. So that's why y'all gotta keep looking at that review over and over again. My bad, player. Yeah, but by the way, her wefts are sealed. They're not dirty if you see something on it. But anywho, so those are things that I really, 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 really want everybody to think about, because I think everybody gets so like bound down and just major like laser focused in on the wrong stuff, y'all. Like, it's the wrong stuff to be focused on. And again, like I said, I know I'm gonna get pushback because for whatever reason, like, women will go and get box braids, or you'll get crochet braids that are not your hair, that's 80 inches long or 20 inches long down your back, and for whatever reason, and if the shoe don't fit, don't put it on. If I'm not talking to you, if this not true, don't get offended. I'm not talking to you. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. Only hit dogs holler. So if you get offended, you who I'm talking about. But women will have some hair that's made out of like sheep's wool or something, or whatever type of artificial fiber. You'll have that in your hair, and it's like 20 inches long, or you have 30-inch box braids, or you have 20-inch crochet braids, whatever. But then if another woman gets a weave, then she doesn't love herself. But you can have hair extensions that's not your hair, is literally the same thing. And it's so crazy to me. And crochet braids are more damaging to the scalp and to the hair than a weave is. Like, I just gave you the comparison of the size, the diameter, and the fabric that the needle is, that the thread that is being anchored onto the hair is making, versus how big the crochet is. And it rubs. It's not constant. It moves when you move. The crochet braids move when you move. If you think about it, if you've ever gotten a real good weave, or if you do weaves and you good, you know that if you get that stitch right, that stitch will be exactly where you put it when they come back. The hair will grow out. The only reason that the weave is moving is because the new growth is moving it down. But the weave, the hair, is exactly where I put it. So there is no tension. There is no rubbing. There is no pulling. There is no yanking. There is no matting. The only time that happens is when you leave the weave in 10 times longer than it's supposed to be in. So if the weave is in 10 times longer than it's supposed to be in, absolutely, that's going to be a problem. Like, It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be an issue. So these are things that I want you to think about. I don't know who's going to feel away about this video. I don't really care, but I just really want us to kill all of these stigmas. Like, why are we like this? Because this is a stigma that's only around for Black women, because for the most part, Black women wear weaves. Other races of women have been wearing hair extensions for decades upon decades upon decades. Like, once again, I say it all the time, like, everybody's hearing about clip-in extensions, micro link extensions, tape-in extensions. Y'all are so late, it don't make no sense. Every form of extensions that I just named have been out since before I went to cosmetology school, and I went to cosmetology school in 2009. So it's been out for a long time. This is how her hair ended up coming out. Absolutely beautiful. She never kept her, well, not her, I was about to talk about the other girl. I don't know how long she kept this one in. I don't remember, because she came back after this, but I just don't remember. I really don't. I don't remember, but she was beautiful. She was a really, really nice tipper, girl. I remember that. But this is how her hair came out. Everybody who wears weaves is not bald headed, and I really hope that this is something that people will stop saying. And in my opinion, weaves are actual protective styles. I do not view crochet braids or any of those as protective styles, because they're constantly rubbing on the hair shaft and the scalp. If anything, they're protecting the crochet braids. Your hair is protecting the crochet braids. I don't know, that's just my professional opinion after over a decade in the industry. But let me know what you think about this video and leave me some comments below. Bye.